Excitement in the kitchen. Say, let's see the excitement.
All right. Just you come along with me and I'll show it to you.
Welcome, I am Jonathan, otherwise known as the Appliance Dude, here at Curto's in Westchester County, in bucolic and beautiful Yonkers, to be exact. Here, high atop Central Avenue, in my sanctuary of appliance knowledge and love. And I welcome you to my first post, my first segment of my Capital Range cooking video series. Yes, we're going to do things differently now. Instead of me just improvising, stylizing, and doing my thing in front of the camera here, I'm actually going to take you through a cooking demo that I did with my Capital Range. And why am I doing this? We sell so many Capital Ranges here that I found it was about time that we started to really get behind it in the sense of showing people what it's really about in the trenches, so to speak. It's one thing to talk to people on a sales floor and feed them information that has been told to you by a sales rep, a distributor rep, stuff you may have read from trade literature, etc., etc., etc. Maybe you picked it up at a sales training event. But when you own the product, when you do hands-on cooking, hands-on washing, whatever it may be with that given appliance, okay, it takes things to an entirely different level. And I had so much confidence in Capital that I brought their Connoisseurian, the dual fuel range, home over a year ago, and have had lots of, between my wife and I, the appliance dudess, we've cooked many meals on those incredible open burners. But folks, when you deal with Curto's, when you deal with Jonathan, it's more about, we're trying to move the narrative away from the burners because it's a boring topic, okay? Open burners, high power, yeah, they hold simmers and lower temperatures well, but Capital has something that's so much more juicier, let's remember that word, juicy, to talk about in regards to the oven, okay? The dual fuel oven is, and I will stand behind this statement, incomparable, absolutely incomparable. Let's think about what it's giving you, okay? It comes with a rotisserie. It comes with a glass floor, which is an important point because it won't warp at high temperatures, unlike porcelain. Slide out racks, a moist assist feature, so it actually will turn your electric oven, actually will give it the functionality of a gas oven because of the moistness that's released in it. And the vaunted electric, the infrared glass broiler, which is its calling card. I decided to break out the rotisserie. This is the first time I've used the rotisserie on this range. So what I did is I went to my boy Minnie in Bronxville. Definitely, if you live in Westchester, visit Minnie's on Park Place in Bronxville. His meats will make you sing. Picked up an organic Bell & Evans free range chicken. Very important, folks, as my guy Steve Reichlin always says, you could be the best grill in the world. It's all about the materials you work with. And comes to chicken, comes to bird, it's organic, it's free range, and that's all I touch. Had it trussed up, brought it home, worked some olive oil into it, worked my pixie dust, which is my favorite seasoning. It's an amalgamation of a bunch of different spices. It's fantastic on poultry, pretty good on beef as well. Kosher, coarse salt, and black peppercorns, okay? Worked it onto the rotisserie spit. This is actually positive pro number one about this range. The spit is fantastic. The spit is a rotisserie spit. It is thick gauge, thick as in thickness, very strong, very robust, very much unlike some of the other rotisserie spits you will see, let's say, on some of these inexpensive outdoor grills. Let's take the Weber, even the Napoleon, which are fine brands unto themselves in their own way, but the rotisserie spits on them are, in my opinion, somewhat flimsy. This rotisserie spit that comes to the Capital is a complete beast, okay? Food is not going to be falling off this thing. So put the bird on, attach the tongs on either side, got a nice firm fit. what I did with the oven, and this was some point of consternation, because if you see the videos that Eurostoves did, he talked about, and he's using a different capital range. He was using a gas self-clean with the rotisserie. He let it go for 1 hour on high, okay? I had a question about that, because the broiler on the dual fuel range or their electric ovens is completely different than their normal broilers. Here's the really cool thing. It is actually a variable temperature broiler, okay? So when it's on high, it's on about 650 degrees, but you can throttle it down if need be. So I decided, I spoke to my one of my capital gurus, and we said, let's just let the thing fly at the high level, and we'll just see what happens. So, and with the cooking time, 1 hour in mind. So I put the bird on the rotisserie, put it in, rotisserie spit started going. I'm getting some nice revolutions, the bird's not slipping off. I'm feeling good about things. I put the roasting pan, which actually comes with the oven, underneath with some chicken stock in it, which would actually help negate some smoke as the bird got more and more cooked later on. So after a few minutes, I actually hit the broil function. I put it on high. And so you'll start to see some pictures now. Every 15 minutes, I opened the oven door, took some photos, watched the process, and what I saw was an incredible caramelization that was going on. The skin turning a golden color, yellowish, then a gold color, then gold starting to turn to brown. It was almost like I was watching autumn in my oven take place over here. It was incredible. But one thing I noted, and this is something you need to take home, is that there's no way that you would cook a chicken on the high broil setting in this oven. No way, no how, because by the half-hour period, this thing, not that it was turning black, but it was really starting to get dark to the point where I was like, there's no way this is gonna last for another half hour. So what I did at about the 35 minute mark, I actually took the broiler down, I throttled down off the high setting, I brought it to about 450, might have even been 425, and I kind of let the bird just coast into the 45th minute, okay? At that point, I did put my instant read thermometer in there. We were at like 175, 170, whatever it may be. I forgot what the reading needed to be in the breast at that time to show that it was done, but it was done. I mean, I had just incredible juices dripping from it. The skin was kind of, puffing and bubbling and this and that. It's really, really incredible chemical reactions going on. And I said, this bird is definitely done. Took it out, off the rotisserie, tented it in aluminum foil for about 10 minutes, and then it was time to get to work carving it up. And what I noticed, and again, you'll see a picture here of the breast, actually, a cross section, incredible juiciness. I mean, comparable with my barbecues that I have outside. The skin was beautifully crisp, okay? Sometimes when you smoke stuff on the barbecues, if you guys are into that, you'll have to, the skin will actually get kind of rubbery, so you have to actually turn the grill up to actually get that crispness for the last half hour or so. This bird came out crispy and the interior was juicy. The taste test, the legs, the brown meat, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The breast meat, moist, juicy. Could have had a little bit more flavor, but I'm very jaded now in this sense because I smoke so much outside. I'm used to that smokiness going inside my food. Can't do that in my oven in the kitchen. I think to anybody else who isn't smoking, you would have been completely knocked off your seat by the taste of this chicken. So no doubt the rotisserie, the oven completely passed the test on the first go. It's an incredible accessory. Some people said, well, why bother with the rotisserie and oven? Trust me, try it. It's insane. Now, and actually, here's another point that people actually brought up to me. What about the cleanup? Because rotisseries have the potential to be very, very, very messy. There was no splattering throughout the oven cavity. I was amazed. I did have a lot of residue on the roasting pan from the drippings. That's cool. Could have probably turned it into stock or something like that. But aside from that, I just had to wipe down the spit, the prongs. That's it. Again, the oven walls were pretty good shape. So it doesn't look like a bomb went off in there or anything like that. So cleanability, and everybody that I mentioned to that I actually did this, that was their first question about how clean or how dirty was it afterwards. It was totally under control. So I don't really have anything negative to say about this experience. I would just say that if you are going to buy the dual fuel with that electric, infrared broiler, the one that's encased under the glass, you have to be very careful. It is hot as blazes, and if anybody's going to tell you to cook and to broil for 1 hour, it better be a massive piece of meat or a bird, because on the one that I cooked, it would have been burnt to a crisp. It would have been black. So if you guys are going to do it on a moderately sized chicken, I would say don't even waste your time cooking it on high. I mean, maybe do it on high to get the initial crisp, but then definitely throttle down. And again, I was at about 425 degrees with the broiler, 450 before we wrapped it up at the 45-minute mark. Folks, thank you very much. You know where to get me. We do ship capital nationwide. Remember that. It's important. It's all good. Thank you.